Okay, so yeah, introversion and extroversion. The next thing, maybe you looked into MBTI a little bit more. You looked into the preferences. You maybe looked at such thing as intuition versus sensing. How it's different to looking at ideas in the physical world around you. Some people have a preference for thinking versus feeling, a T and an F. You start to think there's maybe something there. Or preference for J versus P, judging versus perceiving. So the layers kind of unfold and the complexity increases. The complexity increases as you discover more about yourself. More about yourself that's different from others. And for some of you who are a lot more into MBTI, you may have come across the cognitive functions. How the 8 different pairs of the 8 different cognitive functions about how your mind operates, whether it's introverted intuition or extroverted intuition. I would call that another layer deeper in your own self-discovery. Again, cognitive functions, I would link it to the Enneagram is just looking at the mental side of things, how the mind operates. It doesn't tell you what emotions, doesn't tell you what your body sensations, and doesn't tell you any information about those which you can use for own personal development. Anyway, it goes a little bit deeper. There's somatic awareness. For example, my own body, I struggle with fibromyalgia. So I can weigh off the soft tissue and how I feel at any given point in time. And the information that gives me about my own state of what I'm feeling in my body, that's got sensory information that can be used in my own personal development. The Enneagram combines all these together because each of the 9 different type structures, there's a way in which you operate in the world that's different, and it will affect how you show up somatically. There's a different somatic profile for each of the 9 types, and that's a lot deeper than cognitive functions. And then we're going to go even deeper still to the underlying emotions. Is it fear that you struggle with? Is it anger? Is it grief? Is it distress? What about envy? What about lust? What about gluttony? What are some of these negative emotions that you struggle with? That's a lot deeper, and it may take time to find out. It may take months, even years sometimes, to figure out what are your underlying patterns of behavior. Spirituality is at the heart of the system, and one of my Enneagram teachers in the US, he was not looking for anything spiritual when he studied Enneagram. He just wanted to become a better person. He wanted to use it for personal development. But as he started going deeper and deeper, he encountered something spiritual, something outside himself that he could not explain. And so I guess part of it, in the heart of the system, as human, you may come into something that's right at your core in your center, and you may come into something in the spiritual dimension. So what the Enneagram does and how you can use it is to take you to the core of your being. So after learning about who you are, you can kind of look deeper and deeper and deeper to the mind, the emotions, and the body. So what is it that actually makes you you? What is it that makes you unique? Why do you experience life in the way you do? And is there anything, and what gets in the way of yourself in the spiritual experience? So there are many, many different levels of Enneagram. You can use it at, I mean, if you're using it for business or therapy, you're only probably looking at some of the more superficial levels of the Enneagram, but you can go very, very deep to the core of who you are.